All right, let's jump into another deep dive. Today, it's all about personal finance, specifically some books that could totally change how you think about money and building wealth.
Yeah, it's kind of like having a financial expert right there in your pocket,
Yeah.
sharing all their best tips.
Exactly. And we're going to break down these books so you can take action, actually use this stuff to make smarter money decisions.
I think a lot of people think managing money is super complicated,
Right.
but really it comes down to understanding a few basic principles and honestly just making them a habit.
Totally. And these books, the cool thing is, they're not like boring textbooks.
Oh, definitely not.
They've got stories, strategies you can actually use, even bust some myths about how people build wealth.
Yeah, like how regular, everyday folks became millionaires, not just, trust fund babies.
Exactly. So are you ready to dive into this and maybe rethink how you see money?
Let's do it.
Okay, first up, we've got a classic, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, this one's famous for a reason.
It throws that whole go to school, get a job, work hard, and you'll be fine idea right out the window.
Kiyosaki is a master storyteller. He uses the contrasting views of his own dad, the poor dad, who followed that traditional path, and then his friend's dad, the rich dad, who had a totally different approach.
So the poor dad, that's like the conventional wisdom we all hear growing up, right?
Exactly. Working for a paycheck, hoping for that raise or promotion. But the rich dad, he focused on something else, building assets.
Oh, okay. So instead of just trading time for money, he was building things that would make money for him.
You got it. Things like real estate, businesses, anything that could generate income even when he wasn't actively working.
Wow. I never really thought about it like that before.
And Kiyosaki, he really believes financial literacy is key. Like, if you understand how money works, you can take control of your finances, make them work for you.
That makes total sense. It's not just about working hard, it's about working smart. Okay, next up, we have The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey.
This is another one that's super popular and for good reason.
Yeah, I've heard so much about it.
Ramsey gets straight to the point. He's all about action. He lays out a clear path to get out of debt and build that financial stability so many people crave.
So he's not messing around.
Definitely not. Debt, to him, it's like a disease.
Oh, wow.
And he gives you the tools to cut it out, get rid of it for good. Have you ever heard of his snowball method?
I think so, but I could use a refresher.
Okay, so imagine this. You list out all your debts, smallest to largest, doesn't matter what the interest rate is, just the size. Then you attack that smallest one.
Like, go all in on paying it off.
You got it. Minimum payments on everything else, but all extra cash goes toward that tiny debt. Then once it's gone, you roll that payment amount into the next smallest debt, and so on.
So it builds momentum, like a snowball rolling downhill.
Precisely. You start knocking out those debts, getting those little victories. Ramsey also talks a lot about building an emergency fund.
Yeah, that seems like a smart move.
It's like a safety net for your finances. If something unexpected happens, you've got a cushion. You're not forced back into debt.
Okay, so we've got Kiyosaki challenging how we think about money, Ramsey giving us a plan to get out of debt. Now let's switch gears a bit with Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez. This one, it seems a little more philosophical, right?
It definitely dives a bit deeper. They connect your finances to like how happy you are with your life. They ask this question:
Okay, I'm intrigued.
are you getting true fulfillment in exchange for all those hours you're spending working?
Whoa.
They want you to really think about what you're getting out of your job, out of how you're using your money. They actually encourage you to view your money as life energy.
Oh, I like that.
Like, are you spending it in a way that gives you energy?
Right. Are you spending it on things that are actually important to you?
That's the point. They want you to track your spending, really analyze it, and see if it lines up with what you value.
That's powerful stuff. Okay, moving on to a book that's basically legendary, The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. If you're at all interested in investing, this one's a must-read.
Yeah, even Warren Buffett swears by this book.
Really? Wow.
And what's amazing is how relevant Graham's ideas still are. He teaches you to think like a detective, looking for those hidden gems in the stock market.
So not just following the hype, but really figuring out what a company is actually worth.
Exactly. He talks about finding a margin of safety. It means you're buying stocks that are trading way lower than what they're actually worth.
Okay, so like getting a deal, basically.
Exactly. But how do you know what a company is really worth?
Yeah, that sounds complicated.
Graham gives you the tools. He shows you how to analyze those financial statements, look at the numbers, and make decisions based on research, not emotions.
So less gambling, more like being a smart business owner.
Exactly. It's a long-term game, focusing on the real value of a business.
Now, for a book that might surprise people, The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley and William Danko.
This one busts a lot of myths about how millionaires actually live.
Yeah, get ready for this. Most millionaires, they don't live in giant mansions or drive fancy sports cars.
Nope, it's true. They're often surprisingly frugal, living well below their means. They're more focused on building that long-term financial security than showing off.
Seriously, so it's more about saving and investing than it is about spending.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stanley and Danko found that many millionaires are regular people. Teachers, business owners, people who made smart choices with their money over time.
Wow, that's so inspiring. It means that anyone can potentially build wealth no matter where they start.
Absolutely. It's not about how much money you earn, it's about how much you keep and what you do with it.
Okay, for our last recommendation in this part of our deep dive, we have I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi.
Oh, I love this one. It's all about making managing your money easy, almost effortless.
Sounds good to
He
me.
breaks down those big, scary financial tasks into manageable steps. You know, how to automate your savings, get rid of debt, invest without feeling overwhelmed.
So, like creating a system, a plan that works for you.
Exactly. Sethi's all about making things simple, actionable. He shows you how to negotiate better deals, automate your finances so you don't even have to think about it, and invest in a way that matches your goals.
And what about having fun while you're doing all this?
He's a big believer in that. You should be able to enjoy your life, travel, pursue hobbies, have experiences without guilt. It's all about balance.
Seem responsible, but also enjoying the journey.
Got it. It's about making your money work for you, not the other way around.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from changing how we think about money to practical tips on managing debt, investing. It's incredible how each book offers such a different perspective.
Yeah, it's awesome, right?
What are some of the biggest takeaways that stand out to you?
I think the biggest one is this. Anyone can achieve financial well-being. It's not about luck, it's about having the right knowledge, being proactive, and taking action.
Yeah, it's easy to feel lost when it comes to money.
Absolutely.
But these books, they give you a roadmap, a sense of, hey, I can do this.
Exactly. And they remind us that it's a journey. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about those small, consistent changes over time that add up to big results.
Whether it's tracking your spending,
Right.
automating your savings, or investing wisely, those small steps can make a huge difference. It's all about building those good habits.
Right. And remember, it's personal. What works for one person might not work for another.
That's a great point. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. So out of all these books, if someone's just starting out, which one would you recommend they pick up first?
That's a tough one. I'd probably say Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
It really challenges how you think about money, and it introduces those key ideas of building assets and passive income. It's a real eye-opener, especially if you're just starting out.
Okay, I can see that. What about if someone's really struggling with debt?
I'd say The Total Money Makeover is a great choice.
Okay.
Ramsey's got a clear plan, and he's so motivational, it can be just what you need to tackle that debt.
All right, so that's for getting out of debt. What about someone who's trying to connect their finances with their values?
Then I'd recommend Your Money or Your Life.
Okay, makes sense.
That one makes you think about how you're earning and spending, make sure it lines up with what you actually care about.
Awesome. Now, for someone ready to dive into investing.
Oh, definitely. The Intelligent Investor. It's a classic guide to making smart choices in the stock market.
And lastly, if someone wants a more practical, step-by-step approach.
Then I Will Teach You to Be Rich is a great pick. Sethi makes it easy to follow and actually start seeing results.
Perfect. So no matter where you are on your financial journey, there's a book here that can help you level up.
And the key is not just reading them, but actually doing something with what you learn.
Taking action, making it a habit.
Exactly. Put in the effort, be consistent, and watch your financial well-being transform. It's all about taking control and building a future where money is working for you, not the other way around.
That's a fantastic way to put it. Becoming the CEO of your own financial life. Well, that wraps up this first part of our deep dive into personal finance. We hope you're feeling inspired and ready to take charge of your money, build that financial future you deserve. Stay tuned for part 2.
Welcome back for more.
We're ready to keep digging into these awesome personal finance books. You know, thinking about all these books together, I noticed something interesting. They all talk about this idea of financial freedom.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a common theme.
Each author kind of has their own take on it, but it's like the underlying goal, right?
Totally. And financial freedom, well, it means different things to different people, doesn't it?
True, true.
For some, it's about getting out of that debt cycle, finally having some peace of mind.
Yeah, just not stressing about money all the time.
Exactly. For others, it might be about having the resources to, like, chase their dreams.
Pursue those passions.
Exactly. Without worrying about, can I afford this? And then there are those who, want to build wealth that can benefit their families, future generations.
Yeah, creating a legacy.
Right. It's pretty powerful to think about how these books can help us achieve all that. It's not just about money itself. It's about what it enables us to do.
Exactly. The possibilities it opens up.
Exactly. Having that financial security, that foundation, it can give you the freedom to take risks, to really go after what you want in life.
Okay, so as we continue this deep dive, let's keep that idea of financial freedom in mind. How do these books actually help us get there?
Well, each book has its own path, but they all stress one thing:
What's that?
taking control of your finances.
Makes sense.
You got to be proactive, make those informed decisions, and build those habits that support your goals.
It's about being smart with your money, not being afraid to take charge.
Right. You are the CEO of your own financial life.
I like that. Okay, so let's revisit each book and see how it fits into this journey toward financial freedom. We started with Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, yeah. Kiyosaki, he really shakes things up.
Totally. What were some of the key takeaways there?
He wants you to shift your whole mindset about money. We're often taught to work for money, but real financial freedom, it comes from making money work for you.
Right, right.
Remember, he talked about building assets.
Yeah, instead of just relying on a paycheck, investing in things that generate income, like real estate or a business.
Exactly. Those assets can create passive income streams, money that comes in, even when you're not actively working. And that frees you up to pursue other goals.
I love that idea. So you're not just trading time for money, you're building something that works for you.
Right. Kiyosaki also talks about how important financial education is.
So understanding how money works
You got it. The more you know, the better equipped you are to make smart decisions.
makes sense. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad is all about shifting our perspective and building those income-generating assets. Okay, what about the total money makeover? How does Ramsey's approach tie into financial freedom?
Ramsey, he's all about practicality. His book gives you a step-by-step plan to escape that debt trap and build a solid financial foundation.
He's not afraid to be blunt.
Oh no, definitely not. He wants you to get rid of debt, like yesterday. His snowball method is pretty brilliant.
It really is. It makes paying off debt feel less overwhelming.
Totally. You get that momentum, those little wins along the way.
Oh, yeah.
And once you're debt-free, well, you can put all that money you were using for payments towards something else.
Like saving, investing, actually building wealth.
Right. Ramsey also emphasizes having a fully funded emergency fund.
Oh yeah, that safety net.
Exactly. If something unexpected comes up, you're not thrown off course. You're not forced back into debt.
Okay, now let's move to your money or your life. This one takes a bit more of a, I don't know, philosophical look at money, right? How does it connect with financial freedom?
It's all about alignment, making sure your spending habits are in line with what you truly value, what brings you happiness. They encourage you to see your money as life energy, right?
Yeah, it's not just some abstract thing. It represents your time, your effort.
Exactly. They ask that question, are you getting fulfillment in exchange for the hours you're working?
Yeah.
It makes you really think.
It does. It's like they're saying, don't just work for a paycheck. Make sure you're getting something meaningful out of it.
Right. They want you to analyze your spending, make sure it's going towards things that matter to you, that bring you joy.
So it's about living intentionally, making sure your finances reflect your values.
Totally. And when you're spending on things that truly resonate with you, it creates this sense of freedom, of abundance.
It's not just about having more money, it's about having money that supports the life you want.
Okay, let's move on to The Intelligent Investor. This one's a must-read for anyone serious about investing.
It's a classic for a reason. Graham's principles of value investing, they've stood the test of time.
It's about being a smart investor, not just jumping on the latest trends.
Exactly. Remember that concept of margin of safety?
Buying stocks when they're priced lower than their actual worth.
You got it. It's like getting a discount on a great company. And Graham gives you the tools to analyze those companies to make those informed decisions.
So it's not about gambling, it's about understanding what you're investing in. Right. And that's a huge part of achieving financial freedom. When you can invest wisely, you can grow your wealth over time, create that secure financial future.
The intelligent investor, it's about taking control of your investments. All right, now let's talk about the millionaire next door. This one, I gotta say, it surprised me.
I know, right? It breaks down so many stereotypes about wealth.
Most millionaires, they're not living those lavish lifestyles, are they?
Nope. Stanley and Dako found that they're often surprisingly frugal, living well below their means.
They're more focused on that long-term financial security.
Exactly. The Millionaire Next Door shows that you don't have to come from a wealthy background to build wealth.
It's inspiring. It shows that it's possible for anyone.
It's about making smart choices with your money over time.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, and last but not least, we have I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi.
Oh, this one's full of practical advice, stuff you can actually use right away.
I'm all for that.
He breaks down managing money into easy-to-follow steps, even shows you how to automate things.
So you don't have to think about it so much.
Exactly. He makes it simple, actionable, and he's all about finding that balance between being responsible with your money and still enjoying life.
Having fun along the way.
Exactly. It's about making your money work for you, not the other way around.
I think that sums up the message of all these books pretty well.
Right. Take control, build that solid foundation, and use money as a tool to create the life you want.
It's about becoming the architect of your own financial future. Well, that wraps up the second part of our personal finance deep dive.
We've gone from challenging those old ideas about money to exploring some really practical strategies for managing it and investing it.
We hope you're feeling inspired and empowered to take charge of your finances, build that financial future you deserve. Stay tuned for part 3.
Welcome back to our final deep dive into these awesome personal finance books. Man, I feel so much more confident about my own money situation after going through all this.
Yeah, me too. It's amazing how much of a difference just understanding a few key concepts can make. Right. We've gone from feeling kind of intimidated by all this financial stuff to actually feeling excited about it.
Exactly. It's all about empowerment.
Yeah.
Remember, financial well-being, it's within everyone's reach.
It's not about luck or being born rich.
Nope. It's about taking charge, making those informed decisions about your money.
Becoming the CEO of your own financial life. Right.
Exactly. And these books, they've given us the tools and the inspiration to do just that. So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's talk about actually putting all this knowledge into action.
Yeah, okay. We've got all this great information swirling around in our heads. Now what? Where do we start?
Well, I think the first step is to pick a book that really speaks to you, one that aligns with, where you are right now in your financial journey.
Okay, so not trying to read them all at once.
Exactly. Choose one that addresses like your most pressing need. Is it getting out of debt, starting to invest, maybe just changing how you think about money in general?
Right. Find the one that's most relevant to you right now.
Yeah. And as you read, don't just passively go through it. Highlight those key takeaways. Take notes, maybe even create an action plan.
Like, okay, what specific steps can I take this week to start using what I'm learning?
Totally. Turn that knowledge into action. And remember, this is a journey. It's not about getting everything perfect overnight.
Yeah, be patient with yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
Celebrate those small wins, and don't be afraid to adjust your approach along the way.
It's about making those consistent efforts over time, right? Those small changes that add up to big results.
You got it. And, another thing that can really help is finding support. Talk to friends who are into personal finance, join online communities, or maybe even consider working with a financial advisor.
Oh yeah, having a community to share with and learn from can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. We can all learn from each other's experiences and successes. So before we sign off, is there one last piece of advice you'd give to our listeners?
That's a great question. What about you? What's one final thought you'd like to leave everyone with?
I'd say never stop learning. These books are a fantastic starting point, but the world of personal finance, it's constantly evolving.
So stay curious. Keep learning and growing.
Exactly. The best investment you can ever make is in yourself.
That's so true. Well, that wraps up our personal finance deep dive. We've explored some amazing books, shared some practical tips, and hopefully inspired you to take control of your money and build that financial future you deserve. Remember, knowledge is power. With the right tools and mindset, you can achieve incredible things. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.